Once upon a time, there lived a kind, honest shoemaker and his wife. Though they worked very hard from sunrise to sunset, they fell upon difficult times. At last, the shoemaker had only enough leather left to make one final pair of shoes. That evening, with a heavy heart, he carefully cut out the leather pieces. He laid them gently on his workbench, intending to sew them together the next morning. He said his prayers, turned out the lamp, and went to sleep beside his wife. The next morning, the shoemaker woke early and walked into his workshop. He rubbed his eyes in disbelief. There, sitting precisely where he left the raw leather, stood a magnificent pair of finished shoes. He picked them up to examine them closely. The stitches were incredibly neat, tiny, and perfectly uniform. Not a single flaw could be found. Later that morning, a wealthy traveler came into the shop. He was so enchanted by the exquisite craftsmanship of the shoes that he paid twice the regular price for them. With the extra money, the shoemaker was able to buy enough leather for 2 new pairs of shoes. Once again, before going to bed, he cut the leather pieces and left them on his workbench. When he awoke the next morning, the magic had happened again. 2 pairs of flawless, beautiful shoes sat waiting on the table. Soon, customers flooded the shop, and the shoemaker bought enough leather for 4 pairs, then 8, then 12. Every single night, the raw leather was transformed into beautiful footwear while the couple slept. One cold evening near winter, as the shoemaker cut his leather, he looked at his wife and said, "What if we stay awake tonight to see who is helping us?" His wife agreed. They lit a small candle, hid quietly behind a curtain in the corner of the room, and waited. Right at the stroke of midnight, 2 tiny, barefoot elves slipped through the window. They were wearing nothing but thin, tattered rags. The little elves jumped right onto the workbench, picked up the needles and thread, and began to work with astonishing speed. Their tiny fingers flew through the air until the shoes were finished. They buffed the leather until it shone, stacked the pairs neatly, and vanished into the night. The next morning, the shoemaker's wife said, "Those little creatures have made us wealthy and comfortable. It breaks my heart to see them shivering in rags. Let us make them a gift." The wife spent the day sewing 2 tiny, warm woolen coats, soft shirts, trousers, and knitted socks. The shoemaker carefully crafted 2 pairs of the tiniest, softest leather boots ever made. That night, instead of cutting leather, they laid the beautiful little clothes neatly on the workbench and hid behind the curtain. At midnight, the elves bounded into the room, ready to work. When they found the miniature clothes instead of leather, they stopped in surprise. They picked up the soft coats and boots, realizing the gifts were for them. They laughed with joy, quickly dressed themselves, and began to dance and sing across the tables and chairs. They danced right out the window and into the starry night. The little elves never returned to the workshop, but they left the couple with a thriving business and a lifetime of good fortune. The shoemaker and his wife lived out their days in warmth, comfort, and peace.